Hi, I'm Pat Foltz. I am the first year experience coordinator for the College of Creative Arts and Communication. I am here today with Joy Christiansen-Erb, who is the chairman of the Department of Art. Thank you for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
How did you arrive here at YSU?
At YSU? Well, I'm coming on my 10th year of teaching here at YSU. And I had moved around quite a bit and taught at different universities. I teach photography is my main area of concentration. And when I had the opportunity to come to YSU, I got really excited. I'm originally from Ohio, so that was a nice kind of draw to come back. And I really enjoyed meeting the students on my interview here and really kind of enjoyed working with everyone. So I've been here for about 10 years, and this is my first year taking on the chairmanship position.
Good luck. Good luck.
Thank you.
Can you give me just a brief overview? I know it's big, of the Department of Art, all the different parts of it.
Different areas, yes. We do have quite a large department. We have 16 full-time faculty, and we have several part-time faculty as well. We have the majority of our students study studio art, and so they receive a BFA in studio art, but we have concentrations in different areas. So we have 6 concentrations. That would be painting and printmaking, photography, 3D studies, interdisciplinary visual arts, digital media, and graphic and interactive design. And we also have art education students at the undergraduate and graduate level. And we're just starting for the first year, an MFA program in interdisciplinary visual arts as well.
That's exciting.
So yeah, we're really excited to have that new kind of group come in and liven up things as well.
And there's a museum right next to the Bliss building.
Yes.
Called the McDonough.
Yes.
And can you tell me a little bit about that? Is attached to your department?
Yes. Yeah, so the McDonough is attached. It's wonderful that it's right next door to us. That allows us to be able to bring students over there and look at contemporary art on a regular basis. They also host exhibitions, faculty exhibitions every 2 years. They have alumni exhibitions every 2 years. And our graduating seniors actually get to have their BFA show over at the museum. So that's a really great thing. So we have a show in the fall and in the spring of the graduating seniors. And then we also have a student art show that happens every spring. So in addition to all of the contemporary artists that are coming, it's nice to also kind of engage back into our academic community here.
Exactly.
And we also have the Solomon Gallery. The Solomon Gallery is part of the College of Creative Arts and Communications, but we host exhibitions there as well. So we host both student exhibitions and professional artists. And
you're spread out kind of all over Bliss Hall.
Yeah, yes. So we take all of the 4th floor, but there's also kind of an annex of the building, which is in the basement, and there are 2 levels of the basement. And that we have ceramics and painting and sculpture down there.
And is there a student exhibit space down there too?
Yeah, there's also a student exhibit space there, and that is actually the exhibitions are completely controlled by the students. So it's an experimental space. It's a place for them to, if they have an idea, but it's not ready to maybe go into one of the bigger galleries, they can do whatever they want. They paint the walls, they draw on the walls, they make installations and sound pieces and all kinds of things.
That's pretty exciting.
So that's always an exciting place to
So
visit.
other than classes, you're kind of telling me this, but other than classes that I take, what are some of the other activities I can get involved with?
Yeah, so in addition to all of the exhibitions that you're able to kind of see and visualize every day, we also have an active Department of Art lecture series. So we have a wide variety of professional artists that come from not just nationally but internationally will come and lecture at the school and give information about their artwork. And a lot of times we are able to have one-on-one sessions with students and those artists. So we have studio visits where the artists will come and take a look at individuals' portfolios, especially our junior and senior level students that are kind of getting ready for an exhibition. They get a lot of great feedback. Sometimes we're able to invite them into our classrooms on a more intimate level and give a demo based on the kind of artwork they do. And then in addition to that, we also have a lot of active student organizations in our department. So we have the Student Art Association. They call themselves SAA. They are probably our biggest organization, and that can be made up of anyone within the art department. And a lot of our organizations are actually open to people who are majors or minors, or also might be interested in the subject. So that's a great thing. I'm one of the co-advisors for the F10 group, which is the photography organization. And we actually open it up to any YSU students that are interested in photography. We have a lot of majors and minors, but we also have other people on campus that come and participate in our student organization. We have a group for graphic design, AIGA. There's a national chapter of AIGA, but we have a smaller student group. We have a student group for art education as well, and I'm sure I'm missing a couple more in
But there's
there.
plenty of things to get
Yes.
involved with,
Yes.
even if I'm not a major.
Yes, yes.
What I know you said BFA. What are all the sort of major minors? And you have a new MFA.
Yes.
So what are all the degrees that are associated with them?
Yeah. So we have the BFA in studio art, and then that's where you'll concentrate in a specific area. And then we have the art education degree that's housed both in our college, but also in the College of Education. Yeah. And we have the MA, the Master of Arts for Art Education, that is housed within our college, and the new MFA. But we also have several minors. So our students who may be concentrating in sculpture, let's just say, they might want to do a minor in graphic design, and that's an option. So we have what we call minors for art majors, and so there's a variety of those. Pretty much every area of study has one of those minors. But we also have minors for non-art majors.
Right.
So that can mean anyone on campus can come and do a photography minor for non-art majors, but it also means people in the college can do the same, and that's been a really creative
So for instance, if
resource.
I'm majoring in journalism, I might certainly want to go to the art department and get
and maybe
photography.
Do a photo major for non-minors.
Sure.
And we have a lot of those combinations. We also have a lot of journalism and graphic design combinations. I would say quite a few of our of our minors actually come from this college, which is really kind of exciting. Kind of theater people come and
scene design and
there's a lot of
costume.
overlap.
Sure.
So that will allow the students to be able to have a more in-depth knowledge of, a theater person might want to do a minor in painting.
Sure.
And those make a lot of sense, and they might learn on some kind of different levels of what's all involved in painting.
Excellent.
In a fine art form. So,
do you have academic requirements for staying in the department and getting a degree?
Yes, we do. So our students have to maintain a average of a 2.5 GPA, and we have a pretty set curriculum. So we really try to guide the students in a very easy way of what classes they need to take. They do have to have a C or higher in their area of concentration, or I should say their major. Gen Ed classes are a little different, but so those are some of our requirements.
So they need to get with an advisor or a faculty member really early, because it's going to be tight getting it all fit in.
Yes. So especially for students who want to really make forward progress and finish in those 4 years, it's really important to come see your academic advisor we love to talk with you and give you advice. We hate to see students maybe take extra classes that they didn't need or have to stay a little bit longer if they missed a class out of sequence.
So to get an academic advisor, not from the dean's office, but in the department, should I just ask any of the faculty members that I'm talking with, or should I come to the art department?
You should come to the art department office, and we actually have an advising list posted right outside of the office. But if you come into the office, the student worker or administrative assistant can help you find that list, find your name on the list, and you'll be assigned with an advisor. And then you can always come and make an appointment with that advisor, and I might encourage you to do that early on, even before advising time actually happens, just to get to know them and to learn more about the program you're interested in. But at the same time, around registration time or shortly before registration time, all of the faculty have calendars outside of their office. So all you have to do is go up there and sign in on one of the open spaces. They usually ask for you to leave your name and phone number just in case they have some questions for you, and then you can come and get advised. And I always encourage new students to definitely do that sooner. So if your day to register is, on Friday, don't try to come on Friday because the schedules will most likely be booked at that point because we do get pretty busy with advising. So come a couple weeks beforehand. It won't hurt, and we'll tell you what you should take, and you'll be all ready once your time frame is in place.
Oh, good advice. Great advice. I know that you said I could come from another department that I'm majoring in and take classes there. And usually that happens within the CCAC.
Yeah.
But I can come from nursing and take classes in art.
Yes, you could.
Do some of them fit gen ed? Do you have gen ed classes that?
Yeah, so we do. So we have I guess I have a variety of answers for that. So we have the minors for non-art majors, and so that's one good way to study quite a bit of classes, and it's an easy way to kind of get into those classes. Some of our intro classes are pretty full, and we have to offer those off to our majors and minors first.
Sure.
So the best way to do that is to do a minor because you can get into those classes a lot. You're one of the priority groups that get into the classes first. But we do have a couple of classes that are actually classes that don't have any prerequisites that are specific for non-art majors. So right now we currently have a ceramics for non-art major, and we have a photo for non-art majors. Those are two areas that students across campus are really interested in, and they don't necessarily have the time to do a minor or to take all of the prereqs to be able to get into some of those classes, but they can take that intro for non-majors and get that education within those areas. And ceramics actually has a couple different non-major classes, one for hand building and one for wheel throwing. So that's nice.
That's exciting. Yeah, that's fine.
And then let me think. I know there was another part to that question, and I thought there was a good answer, but yeah, those are the two I'm thinking of right now.
All right. Yes. What are some of the career options besides the obvious, I want to be a famous painter? What are some other career options that I might not be aware of that if I have a degree?
That you might pursue,
Sure.
yeah. So our students do a variety of different kinds of things. And what I think is important for people to realize, and I hope a lot of our majors are pursuing, are jobs that are creative just in nature as well.
Sure.
And it keeps people passionate about their jobs. I mean, I love my job because it's something that I'm really excited about. And it's something that, I've always wanted to do versus, doing a job where I just check in and check out every day. So, but some of the actual jobs that our students get are both in the fine art world, but also in the commercial world. So a lot of my photo majors go on to do commercial photography of all types. I have past students that have specialized in wedding photography and portrait photography, in baby photography, all of those different kinds of options. Our graphic designers are working for a variety of large firms, but
Sure.
small firms. They do independent work as well. They start up their own businesses. We also have a lot of students that will go on to work in gallery systems. So that's one that people don't necessarily think of.
Right.
And they might start off as a worker in a gallery itself, and then sometimes eventually they open up their own galleries. There's one of our former alumni opened up the soap gallery in town.
Oh, yeah.
So that's a really great kind of thing. And then some of our students go into education. So that might be art education at the K-12 level. But I would say a good portion of our students start to think about grad school when they're in undergrad. And they think about grad school, and with grad school comes other kind of options, and sometimes that's teaching at the college level. So we have had students that go off and become professors of their field, which is really exciting to see. But there are so many options that I don't think people always think of within the
Exactly.
creative field.
Exactly.
So
Being creative is a skill
Yeah,
itself that people
yeah.
need.
Yeah, I would say a lot of, I even know some alumni that work for art organizations in town. So nonprofit art organizations, things like that. And they're getting to be involved with artists and the arts on a daily basis.
Sure.
Which is exciting.
So what are your top 3 favorite things about the art department at YSU?
Let's see. There's so many different things. I think some of my favorite things are just being immersed in a creative atmosphere at all times. You can pretty much walk through the halls at any time and see beautiful, inspirational work on the walls. You go into the studios and see the students working. And you walk through the building and you hear lots of great music too.
Exactly.
I think that's one of the great things about us all, our college all being in the same building.
Yes.
So I think that's a big inspiration. One of the things that I just really love about my job is really the students. I think that the students are what kind of keeps you motivated and keeps you wanting to kind of move forward. And they also it's really great to see the progression from someone who just starts to finishes and thinking about that. And sometimes I have to remind them to think, can you remember what it was like when you were a first year student? And now you're a graduating senior and you might be looking at job opportunities. So that's really exciting as well. So I don't know if that answers my
that's
3.
Great. What's the one thing that you would tell a new entering freshman person coming into the department?
Gosh, I think just really getting involved. Because we have a lot of students, some of our students live on campus, some don't. It's easy to kind of do your own thing and then and not be involved with the larger community. But I think most of our students, by the time they get to their junior and senior year, they realize that community is really important, and they probably wouldn't do as well if they didn't have those other student peers around them, inspiring them to make new work or kind of engaging in the extracurricular activities that can inspire them in different ways. So for a first year student, I would say go join the clubs that are the art clubs that are available, and start to meet some of the older students. Go on field trips even when they're just voluntary. There's so many great things that are happening, and so really be involved in those.
This is an arts town.
Yes.
It's a surprising thing.
Yes.
But Youngstown is a very arts town.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that sometimes students don't realize that, we have a museum next door and we have a museum across the street, and we have 2 galleries in this building itself. And so if anything, go in there and check it out every day, and really think about not just the artwork itself, but how do people hang this artwork and how do they present it, and thinking about how that's going to affect you later when it's time for you to have your senior show, and you want to think about, well, what really made the best impression on me over this, work that I've seen over the years. So that would be probably my biggest bit of advice.
Thank you so much, Joy, for talking with me today and
Thank
letting
you.
us know a whole lot more about the Department of Art.
Well, thank you very much.
And thank you for watching.
Thanks.